President Xi Jinping has praised China's relationship with New Zealand during a highly anticipated meeting with Prime Minister Chris Hipkins. Live to our New Zealand Bureau Chief Jessica Maggio. Jessica, what did he have to say?
Well, that's right, Pete. There certainly was a lot of praise for this relationship and this bilateral meeting, with President Xi Jinping saying that he attaches great importance to the relationship between New Zealand and China. And what was really interesting was the use of language that Xi Jinping made, specifically referring to the relationship as robust and strong, calling New Zealand a great friend and partner. So very hospitable, a very warm welcome for Chris Hipkins. And that was to be expected. Often New Zealand has been somewhat of a geopolitical pawn when it comes to China using New Zealand as a bit of an example to Western allies and certainly to members of the Five Eyes, including Australia and the United States, about what the relationship with China should look like. So he was making a very big point of that, and he did actually mention that many people across the world would have been watching this meeting intently, and of course they certainly would have been, with Anthony Albanese likely to visit President Xi Jinping also in October. So a very important meeting. Chris Hipkins then spoke to local media after that meeting. He didn't really address whether the topic of the dictatorship was mentioned, that comment that was made by US President Joe Biden, but he did say that he insinuated rather, that it might have been brought up by Xi Jinping. So again, very hospitable relationship as a demonstration perhaps to Western allies. Here's a little bit else of what they had to talk about.
There was a particular economic focus to our conversations. That's an issue of such importance to New Zealand exporters. We also had the opportunity to talk about current issues. The relationship between China and the US was discussed. The situation in Ukraine was discussed. The Pacific was discussed. Human rights were discussed. So a broad range of issues.
Now, Prime Minister Chris Hipkins has tried to really portray this tour as a trade exercise. So he has a number of delegation meetings and business meetings for the rest of the week before he returns home on Friday. Pete?
Well, Jessica Maggio, thank you.